What's up everybody? In this video, I'm gonna take you with me on a complete photo shoot where I will show you how to work with natural light and not just any light. I'm talking about extreme midday harsh sunlight. So without further ado, let me show you the final shots. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to stay informed on all my upcoming photography tutorials. I've been a professional photographer for over 12 years, and over these years, I've learned photography and lighting through many trials and errors. So in this video, my goal is to help you photograph with intent and purpose rather than just firing away and hoping for one good shot. Okay, so it's one thing to learn technicalities and laws of light, coefficients, fall-off ratios, etc. And another challenge to implement those book terms in reality when you're starting out as a photographer. So when you're actually shooting a client on location, it's a different ballgame. So I encourage you to see this video all the way through the end. It's going to immensely help you and expand your horizon as I put in practice everything that I've learned and how to shoot in harsh sunlight, as well as show you my creative process along the way for you to implement it in your own photography. So before I show you how I shot each image you saw in the intro, I want to stress the point that lighting is number one most important element of capturing a photograph. Lighting breathes life into your photo. I will show you how to read the direction of existing light, what it means to shoot in that particular direction of light, and how to take advantage of different portrait lighting setups with that existing direction of light. In this photo shoot, I chose to shoot in a parking garage without using any reflector, any diffuser, or any additional artificial light. I first walk in the location and look for where the light is coming from, how that light affects the subject, and the quality of that light. What do I mean by quality of light? I mean, is it a small light source relative to the subject, which produces a harsh light, high contrast, and dark shadows? Or is it a large light source that produces a soft light, low contrast, and weak shadows? In the presence of full sunlight like it is today in this photo shoot, which is a small light source far away, it's producing harsh light and dark shadows. So I'm gonna walk around my model to show you different ways I can photograph him with, to produce at least 5 different portrait lighting techniques with this existing light. In broad light, the side of the face closest to the camera is mostly lit. Loop light is a directional light which causes a shadow under the nose at an angle. Rembrandt light causes a triangular shape of light on the shadow side of the face. Split light splits the face in 2 halves, half in light and half in shadow. Backlighting puts the entire face in shadow, great for creating silhouettes. In short light, the side of the face that is closest to the camera is in shadow. Once you know what lighting technique works for you and your style and on your subject, you can create stunning images any time of the day with any light. All right, so my next step is to find creative triggers in the environment defined by presence or absence of light. This guides me what and where to shoot, and it's this ideal mix of light and shadow that makes the subject pop. Light adds depth and dimension to your photographs, making it even more dramatic. It's always a good idea to share your photo with your subject so that they can get comfortable with you. And he got really comfortable. Hassan is the handsome model I'm working with today, who also happens to be my nephew, and he is awesome. On the left side of the frame, there's a ton of sunlight falling on the concrete. This is a trigger that tells me that I should place my model here so that I can use that light on that concrete as a giant reflector, reflecting that glow of light back onto the face. For this shot, I put the model in between the 2 wall openings so that there is a play of light and shadow. Now I'm bringing the model closer towards the sunlight, and in this spot, I'm gonna have him look further away and request him to lean in towards that ground light, which is giving that beautiful reflection back onto his face. I have him lean much further down so that I can get this glow. Onto the top of the garage, there's no shade, it's full sun, so I ask him to turn so his body's in shadow, and then turn his face back into the light and chin up a little bit so that I get that beautiful Rembrandt light on his face. So as I got that shot done, I noticed that there was this dual arrow paint on the concrete. So I thought about, okay, maybe this could be a cool shot for him sort of jumping into the future where it leads to two different paths or something. And so I kind of had him leap into that. And so we're doing a quick jump just to test it out, and then another jump with a bit more excitement. So the shot looked cool, but I didn't like that office building on the left side because the arrow points to it. So I simplified it to kind of show that the future leads to anything. I realized I could create a cool shadow shot working with this blank concrete canvas. So I photographed his shadow first, and then I had him get out of his shoes so that I could composite that into just that shadow photo as you see here. Since I'd been photographing concrete for so long, I decided to put him up on this structure so that I can use my phone and reflect the sky below him. I'm using the sun to broad light him on this side of the face. By turning him just a little bit, I was able to create loop light on his face by using the same techniques. Here I used the high position of the sun to create a portrait lighting technique known as paramount or butterfly lighting. The sun briefly went behind the clouds, but there's still direction of light here, so I turned his face towards that direction and created a broad lit shot. And then I turned him towards the direction of the light and used this loop light on his face to capture the shot. In this wide shot I'm about to create, I ask him to splay his elbows out so I can capture that little bit of gap of light between his arms. I continue with the same technique to create a series of backlit shots. Here I have him lean into the light and chinning up so I can capture the loop light on his face. In this next shot, I turn his body away from the window and his face back into the light to capture a split light portrait. This is one of my favorite ways to shoot, guys. This is what I call an angled split light, where a beam of light cuts through the face in an angle, creating a very dramatic and edgy portrait. It also looks very cinematic in that way. Alright guys, if you have any questions or feedback, please let me know in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them all. I hope this video helps you out a lot. Make sure to subscribe and smash that like button, click that bell icon so that you can be notified on my next photography tutorials. Until next time, see ya!